Here's why your relationship is struggling. It's become a common theme that females are like, he never listens to me. And the guys are also like, she never listens to me. In business, the boss goes like, my team never listens to me. I give them specific instructions, but they never listen. And the team is like, our boss, he feels complacent. He feels he knows it all. He never takes our opinion. He never listens to us. Yes, and this is why many of us are having a lot of difficulties in our relationships, in business transactions, and everywhere we get to interact with humans. So, in this video, I'm going to share with you how we can really listen actively and how we can employ active listening skills to build stronger, more impactful relationships, whether with our romantic partners, business partners, or strangers. So, there's a big difference between listening and hearing. Hearing is all about you can hear something, there's a sound, but the art of listening takes everything to a different step. It's a continuous process where you receive an information or where you receive information, you interpret that information and then you respond. But where here's what it takes you to a different level. Now, once you receive this information, interpret it, and you respond, it requires you to understand that information and you receive the information with empathy, and you're doing this to know and appreciate. So it's not just about hearing words being sent across, but it requires four key elements: you understanding, you empathizing, you appreciating, and you knowing. What happens most of the time is that we feel like what we have is the ultimate. My idea is the ultimate. Whoever's idea is really the most terrible. If you have that perspective about me, I also have the same way, the same perspective about you. So, should I listen to your perspective or you to my perspective? And this is why we are having a really tough time because everyone is feeling this self righteous in any transaction or in any kind of relationship. According to Julian Treasure, he says that we spend roughly 60% of our communication time listening. So, for this 60%, we really all of us want to be talking because now majority of us want to become public speakers. Of course, public speaking is good, and when we meet people, everyone is talking about themselves, their projects, the things, the amazing cool things, the amazing and the cool things they've been able to do, and the places they've been, the stuff they're involved in. So who should listen to all these things? And what really makes a relationship beautiful is when you share an idea and you feel like someone has really, really heard you. So, how do we employ the art of listening to in our relationship to really transform and build stronger, more meaningful relationships? So, it all stems from this. According to Julian Treasure, he mentions that the way you listen affects the way I speak. So, in my engagement so far, I've realized that whenever you meet someone and you make them feel like you're really listening, you do the micro noises like, oh, and they realize that they've even talked more than they are supposed to. And I call it persuasive listening, and which in the negotiation trainings I do talk about the use of persuasive listening in communication. However, when you really listen to people, they talk about things in a broader scope, and you get to know all the things they had in their minds as far as the subject and the discussion is concerned, and you're able to also constructively offer your opinions. But what normally happens is that we do two major things: we listen to reply, and we listen with preconceptions. We believe that we know the way people think, before they even begin the whole conversation. I know that my boss, when I say this, is going to say this, and therefore I will not bother to really listen or hear him out. Maybe it might be different. So the art of listening to reply and art of forming preconceptions about individuals is what is mainly killing our relationships lately. What if I told you, when we are able to replace listening to reply and forming preconceptions about individual, will transform the way we speak? So here's how it works. To avoid this listening to reply and these preconceptions, we bring in, we are listening to understand, to appreciate, to empathize, feel the way the person feels, and to know. When we employ these four things in our listening, it will not only transform our relationships, but it will help us really build meaningful relationships and bonds with people we encounter, whether they are complete strangers or they are our romantic partners or maybe business partners or clients. It will help us understand their needs. It will help us know what they are really uncertain of and offer us ways through which we can effectively help them out of these situations or problems that they might find themselves. So, from today onwards and going forward, whenever you are listening to someone, whenever you are having a conversation with someone and it's heated, it's tough, you feel like I know it all. You have the urge to kick in. Of course, there are some suggestions, including taking a deep breath whenever you feel like replying while the person is talking midway. You also want to be focused on listening to really understand what the person mean in that spot. Really wanting to know, being genuinely interested in what the person is saying and where the person is going to land, rather than what we think, what we have seen them land, where we have seen them end their conversations anytime they start. This will transform our communication and our relationships with others and help us build more lasting and meaningful relationships. I hope this video helps. See you in the next video.